Hello, everybody. My name is John Phinney, and I'm the CEO of Convergence, Inc., a data company in the asset management industry. I'm here today to talk to you about a series on how to make effective data decisions. It's going to be a three-part series with three distinctive questions that I hope you can use with great effect, as I have throughout my career, buying and licensing data sets to support decision making. We're now going to talk about Episode 1, questions you need to consider or evaluate when selecting a data provider. It's very important that before you select a data provider that you carefully consider what type of experience you really need. For example, licensing or subscribing to data sets may require you to normalize or clean, structure them, curate them, and analyze them in order to support the decisions or evaluate the objectives that cause you to license the data to begin with. Therefore, it's very important that you understand, do I have the expertise internally to take a data set, curate it, normalize it, structure it, and analyze it, or do I need my data service provider to do that for me or help me do it? Because that question is so critical, it's important that you answer it clearly and honestly with yourself, because there are three different types of data companies really in the space today, and they're very, very different. They're all capable, but they are different. And so if you have the expertise, for example, in-house to take a data set and take it through the curation process and the analytical process, then you have really three choices to select from. You have what's called the data collector, the data distributor, and then the data creator, and all three of them have data. And you can evaluate very objectively, which we're going to do in segment 2, some of the questions on how to compare and contrast those service providers. But let's assume for a moment that you don't need a pure data collector or data distributor. That will then narrow your list of options to what I call the data creators. But let's talk about the characteristics of each of them so that you're not fooled when you do go to RFP by selecting the wrong firm. Because let me make this point. If you select the wrong firm, one, they're likely not to tell you because they want to sell you. And two, it may take you some time to discover that this is really not the experience you were looking for. So let's just delve into the three types of companies very quickly. The first is the data creator. The data creator, like Convergence, is a firm that's sourcing information from public domain sources, curating it, cleaning it, structuring it, and then analyzing it on behalf of its clients with a very particular objective. And that objective is to support an insight needed by the client to make a more effective business decision. That business decision could be around revenue generation, efficiency and effectiveness, or risk identification and mitigation. So at the end of the day, a creator has the data. Often that data is original, meaning it's proprietary, or derived data. It's just not coming clean from the source. It's gone through a series of iterations. Second part of a creator is they're going to have subject matter experts to help you really understand how that data can be used to basically help you achieve your objective. That could be business development professionals or experts. It could be risk experts. It could be product experts, client management experts. There's a lot of different types of expertise that one can wrap around the creator to make the client experience far more effective. So that's the creator. Now, the collector. Again, very fine firms are collectors. Firms like PitchBook, firms like Preqin, and others perhaps. What they do is they collect information from private and public sources. So unlike the creator never takes independent, or I should say private data. It's always independent. But let's go to the collector. They play a very, very vital role in the industry as well. The collector is curating somewhat, probably cleaning somewhat the data, but they're very, very focused on certain types of segments. It could be the hedge fund segment. It could be the private equity segment. It could be other segments within asset management. And for those who aren't in asset management, it could vary. It could be manufacturing, healthcare, et cetera. The idea is they all do something very particular. So the collector is collecting from a source. They're doing some modest curation, and then they're distributing that. Often they do not have the subject matter experts in-house to help the client fulfill that analytical experience or journey that they all need to go through if they don't have that experience in-house. So the collector is more of collect, normalize, and distribute the information. The last type of data provider in the industry is called the distributor. These are typically platforms like Snowflake, as an example, where creators and collectors can post information that the user can then choose among. So think of it as a data mart or a supermarket or a warehouse. These are all terms that are commonly used. Now, the distributor really does not know much about the data. They are providing shelf space for the products, and it's up to the user to engage with the data and then really loop back into the analytical process around, can the creator, can the collector, can they help me? So at the end of the day, the distributor's role is a vital role as well. They provide one-stop shopping in an easy way for the user or the potential subscriber to choose among multiple options, okay? So 3 companies, 3 different experiences, and in order for you to really decide to spend time and effort to begin your exploration of the different service providers that may be able to meet your objectives, make sure you bring in the right firm. At some point in time, your CFO or your boss or your decision maker is going to ask you some pretty fundamental questions about the value proposition associated with that data. And you have to make sure, with hand on heart, you can describe the value proposition in what we call simple return on investment terms. We're going to get to that segment in that discussion in a little bit more depth in segment 3. But for now, I want to thank you for your time. I hope you found some of this useful, and I look forward to doing segment 2 and speaking to you about the opportunities once you select your provider to conduct what we call thorough due diligence. Thank you very much.